everybody, and welcome back. Rogue versus Team Secret is about to begin. In only a few minutes. You see it on the countdown down below. 15 minutes. Oh my god, that's going to be a really long death period. I really hope we're not going to fill for 15 minutes. Thank you very much. We're going to change it on. Anyways, hello, I'm Milos. With me are Anne and Fresh. And we got Rogue versus Secret. Let's have a chat about these two squads before we start up. Team Secret, Jack.
Yes.
What do they offer?
Team Secret have improved.
Yeah?
You could... Team Secret have eyeball test improved. If you looked at them and you saw performances, you'd say, Secret, they've got more competitive. They've looked all right inside of rounds. They've looked all right inside of games. And you look and they've got 2 wins. They've got 4 points. And then you look at this stage in Stage 2, where they had 7 points. This point in time in Stage 1, where they had 7 points. And then you say, well, have they improved? Because performances have improved, results have not. And I think that's the big problem with Secrets is they've been competitive, but they're not picking up points.
I think their main point is, well, I have a very big positive and a very big negative for them. The main negative, let's start with the negative news, is that they're losing so many bodies. I mean, we saw their game against Heroic last week, which was a pretty decent game. It was a 4-7 loss eventually, but the low survival rate really was hurting them. They'd won 2 rounds by round 5, but every player had died in every round, except for Kendrew, let's say live in the last few seconds in round 5, due to Heroic making a very big mistake there. You can't really keep losing bodies and keep throwing bodies at enemies, and then hope to still win rounds as well. Something I did like from them, the positive, was that they showed adaptation to problems that occurred, but then other teams are also reading into that world. They brought, for example, a Legion to counter Montaigne, and then, hey, next round there is no longer a Montaigne.
Yeah. I think the big problem with Secret, if we continue this kind of negative trend, is genuinely it's to do with team play. There's not enough trades. They're dying too much. There's not enough going on in the mid-round. They're just giving away rounds in the mid-round where there's just a big flurry, and Secret end up the losers of that flurry of kills.
Well, speaking of giving away rounds, that's pretty much exactly what Rogue did also on the other side. Last Playday against Wolves.
Yep, exactly. They got a decent start on Villa. Nothing too good, I would say, considering they're the best defensive team, and they only went 3-3 on Villa against Wolves. And then after that, they managed to lose 6 rounds in a row. Some players also tweeted, well, we've lost to ourselves. Could that be something that had to do with the vibes, for example? We know that the team usually runs very high on vibes, but then losing 6 rounds in a row, that really must do something with your mental. And despite their loss, though, we did see some really good team play. We did see players really covering off one another, but, well, unfortunately, they had those really big impact players against them with a Shinka and a Mowgli Days.
There's probably an Eminem player or fan saying, why aren't you talking about Rogue? They keep losing 3v1s. It's true. They've lost another 3v1. They've lost 3v1 in the last 2 games now. And what I will say is I do back this team to have a lot of resilience. Sure, they took a loss, but it was against probably the best or the second best team in the league. However you see Wolves currently, they took that loss. I would back them to have that resilience going up again today. We know that their team is about vibes. We know that their team's about good mental attitude, keeping everyone happy and playing off team play. I would back them to get back there today. Every time they've taken a loss this season, we've seen them bounce straight back with a convincing win.
Well, let's see what map we're going to be on. You mentioned Villa. That was one that Wolves and Rogue played up against one another in our last Playday, and Team Secret went up against Heroic on Theme Park. So, which one will it be? We don't always get Theme Park or Villa, which was quite exciting back then. But we're going to go to a classic bank, border banned out by Secret just before it. They'll have the last say, and Rogue decide to start on the defense, pushing Secret to attack on bank.
That's going to be difficult for sure if you look at Rogue being the best team currently as defensive win rate in the whole league, but Bank specifically, it's arguably both teams' best map, as you could say. Secret has 2 wins in it against Navi and G2, and Rogue won it against Outsiders, which was also closer than expected, but both teams seem to like it because they haven't banned it yet this stage.
I had this pinned more as a border. The reason that I thought it would be a border is I thought Secret would get rid of Bank, because if you talk about the best Bank teams in the world, I said this when Rogue played Outsiders, Rogue are in that conversation, Secret are not. And that's fundamentally, just at a higher level, it feels like it's a better map for Rogue. So I expected Secret to ban it away, but then that would have left Border, where you're talking about a very similar scenario. I think Rogue pretty much just outclassed Secret in the map pool, and we was going to end up on Bank or Border. That was always going to be a Rogue-favoured map.
Well, very quickly, because our lobby's ready, a name. Who would you watch on Team Secret to perform today for a victory?
Savage. He plays a lot of the, I call them suicide positions. He plays a lot of power positions where he's baiting in the triangle. He's the bait in the triangle between Grubby and Astro. And if he turns up big, you know, I'm thinking Janitors when they play the open area defense. If he turns up big, then Secret will have some success.
And?
Yeah, I'll definitely have to agree with it. Statistically, if you look at the team, Slabber has the best statistics, but I will definitely find, I'll find myself what you said.
All right, friends, thank you very much. That's Team Secret versus Rogue, and we've got Ollie and Demo to take you through it. Enjoy.
Thank you indeed, Milosh. We're going to be covering game number 2 here, and we're going to head to Bank Demo for our second game of the day, Secret versus Rogue. On one side, a game that means everything for one team, and on the flip side, a game that means very little for another.
Yeah, Secret, they decided their fate last week whenever they went up against Heroic, and now they're in a position where they can play spoiler, essentially, for Rogue and really put the pressure on them today. I don't know if we're going to see any spoiling today. I think Rogue, they're a good enough outfit, aren't they? They should come in and get the job done today.
Yeah, I think on paper that you look at this one and you think it's got to be Rogue all day, right?
Yeah, I think you look at the way I see some teams. I see some teams that have a loss in them, and I see some teams that you don't expect to see loss. And I think Rogue are one of those teams where you just don't expect to see them lose, do you? Obviously, we've seen them lose against M&M, for example. That seems to be a recurring thing. Just something about M&M just get under the skin of Rogue. But I think today was Secret. Realistically, Secret, they've shown some good points, but not enough of them to really give us an edge. By thinking, they could be up for this today. I just think Rogue are going to come in and get the job done. They're going to live and die for this.
Certainly is what we're expecting, but we all know that what we expect and what we actually get can often be two very different things.
It could be a blatant Kendry life game tonight. We don't know. Anything can happen.
Possibly.
Kenny in the 20s. Who knows? It could happen.
It seems as though it's not just Nate that's turned the lights on today. We've got Grubby with this camera.
Your obsession with Grubby and his cameras. What's going on?
It's improving week on week. I reckon by next week we'll almost have a gooder angle as anyone on the side of Rogue. Maybe apart from Cantor, we can only see like half of his head.
Yeah.
But
What I love about Cryan's camera, it's just you've got the banner there every week, but it doesn't, we can still see the room that he's in.
the banner doesn't look real.
It's it's just there.
The banner looks like CGI.
I wonder if that stays up 24/7.
Yeah, I think
wonder.
so.
Has he ever taken that down?
Oh, we both know how difficult they are to deal with. Let's have a look at the bans. Dokkaebi, a mainstay ban after her recent buff. Nook, removed because, guess what? It's Bank. And you always want to be removing a Nook if possible, especially when you've got players on both sides that are very capable of that sort of lurk and rat play.
Yeah, especially if you look at Secret. I think they've got, Cryan on the Nook as well.
I'd take your pick, Cryan, Spoit. You just don't want any of it, do you?
And Echo and Goyo. So basement is going to be, should be quite easy if you think about it for the attackers.
Yeah.
Removing Echo, removing Goyo, two of the big heavy hitters for time denial. I'd be surprised if we see a basement defense today. Is there even any point without those two operators? Sure, you have Smoke is still up, but that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. Especially when you look on the balance things and you go, well, Cad might be available, but we've got pocket EMPs, Thatch is available. There's all these things that really weigh into the favour of basement. Yeah, it's probably not worth.
But is basement without a Goya and Echo, is that worse than Tellers and Archives though? That's what you have to take in consideration. Would you still be better off going for the basement?
Well, it's definitely bad enough that Secret have opted to go to open area first.
Yeah.
Which, for all intents and purposes, is a first/second choice site
That's okay.
on Bank these days. It does force you into that vertical roam. Something that does really open up quite a lot of options with the Echo and the Goyo ban is the Azami. We see how powerful Azami can be in various different places on Bank. One that springs to mind is in and around these beepers, exactly where Kanto is playing right now. You can just give yourself that extra layer of protection in what can otherwise be a very difficult zone to defend as a defender.
The big thing that I look at for these open areas defenses is all about the roam game. Anchors do not work in this because there is still ways that you can open up verticality, you can open up hatches that can cut off a good portion of the bomb site itself. It's all about the roam game. In my opinion, that's where it's make or break. You cannot forfeit upstairs immediately. So pressure's going to be on for the two rogue roamers. It's going to be Cryan and it's going to be Spoit, who may be looking for an early dip back into sight. They haven't really gotten anything from that, you have to say, Ollie. What have they gotten? Any drones? Any no kills, no nothing.
It's not as if they're sort of headlocked into playing a retake either, because you look at the lineup and you go, no C4s. They've brought more impacts and wub-wubs than they have C4s, so they're not really in a position to be denying plants in that sort of a way. Smoke hasn't been chosen. We don't have the Echo, we don't have the Goyo. You're losing a little bit of that area denial and, of course, that plant denial, which teams are well known for. I think Jack's probably having, you know, a big smile on his face at the moment, given that Secret have banned out Echo. Obviously, we know how good Deepek can be on Echo, whether it be for Plant Now or whether it be for Roman information. So Secret are really coming into this one with the eyes wide open. Nice little Claymore there for the Oryx jump up potentially. They know that, of course,
Great prediction, isn't it?
Oryx is
Look at this.
likely going to be played. Crying. He might come unstuck here, you know.
Oh, it's a close one, it's a tricky one to really justify, but right now Secret again using that verticality, it just allows Slaben now to entry in towards Tellers, but he'll be going into a crossfire as Spoits onto the right, and obviously we know that Kanto is going to be onto the left side. He knows one, it's going to be in towards Elevator, it's going to be Spoit. He needs to get this kill, he needs to be able to eliminate that player, because he's basically going to halt them from doing anything towards the main stairs. As long as Spoit's alive, Secret are not going to be able to get a foothold on that side of the map.
I wonder if Cryan smelt a rat downstairs, if he's maybe got a glimpse of a laser through the hatch, because he hasn't gone for it just as of yet. He's taken a good portion of damage from a nade there. Spoit is still holding on to the angle. Can look maybe for a bit of a rotation here. He does have the option to push on through, but instead just needs to harass for as long as possible. Can retreat back into the elevator. The hatch is open for him to drop if he so needs. Lionscan comes out, roots the defenders in place, or gives them away, depending on if they're moving, but we see a kill from Sleben and Secret. They are collapsing here. Spoit and Cryan grab one each in return and lock us into a 2 versus 2, but there's 4 seconds left. The diffuser's cold on the ground, and all Rogue have to do is stay alive.
Well, Secret, I think indecisive at times there. Not looking to commit onto Spoit was probably an issue. There wasn't realistic a lot of protection for Spoit. If someone had went into lobby and opened up that double barricade, Spoit's fighting 2 battles in one front, whereas you're giving him that heads-up 1v1 essentially. Secret were very, very, very slow. We're seeing Maestro cameras still up, so that information is going to be gained tenfold. Secret just too slow and not being decisive with who they're actually targeting for the kills.
I'm surprised at 2 things. I'm surprised we didn't see the barricade opened, and it looked as though Spoit thought about it for a moment after he threw the impact to enlarging the rotate hole, but I'm also really surprised that we didn't see the double wall below that opened. We didn't see the wall into the newspaper room at the end of the elevator corridor.
Newspaper room?
I don't know, that's what I call it.
Newspaper.
Help me out here, Easy. This one. I'm surprised we didn't see that opened either, because that just eliminates anyone from being able to play at the top of main stairs or elevators. Neither of those 2 were dealt with. And as such, it allowed Rogue a real safe pocket to play in. Vertical control or not, it was not going to be enough.
Yeah, I'm just really surprised that Rogue had won that round, because realistically Secret, with the time that they had, with not losing anyone, importantly, having all that utility, and yeah, not being able to capitalize on what should be just a simple drop and plant. Should it not be?
We're getting the Monty.
Getting the Monty. It is top floor. Monty's really good at the moment for just gaining control of lobby. That's one thing we've seen Monty excel in, is just walking up the lobby stairs. You're taking on just a frontal engagement. You have to worry about getting shot from behind or getting flanked. It has been a good staple pickup for teams. I'm not really sure exactly where they're pushing the Monty. It doesn't look to be a lobby take. Looks to be a little more orientated towards the traditional square attack. A lot of information for Rogue is going to be applied. Secret, I think, happy enough just to probe the site, happy enough just to see what is happening. One thing I do like about Secret is they have a Valkyrie. I think that's obviously an operator that we always seem to be ban and bank, was always a staple pickup, but because now we know that Goyo and Echo are going to be a little bit more valuable just to neutralize one bomb site entirely, she now lies underneath the radar, and we've seen how detrimental a C4 from below can be.
Savage going to open the account here. The kill onto Kanto. Kendry just teasing us at the top of those square stairs. There's a good presence on the rappels here as well, which is making the site very difficult to play in and around. Grubby out there on the Zephyr. It's a very slow and steady race here for Secret. We do have a little bit of site access, and Astro is going to start to try and get that plant down, but no one covering the flank. Excuse me.
C4?
Deepek, he isn't going to find anything, but Cryan C4 will pick 2, and that surely is the nail in the coffin here for the attack of Secret. They might have a man advantage still, so they could still look to try and work this, and especially with Savage shutting down Spoit. He's picked up 3 on the round here. A reattempt at the plant time, looking pretty good. Still around a minute left. Cryan looking to rotate through. How much info has he got? He's certainly got a red ping, but that's going to be the plant secured. Picks up the kill onto Grubby. Can he pick the second? Gets some chip damage in onto Sleben, but quite rightly, Sleben dips himself off the engagement. Still with red pings to work with. He knows that Sleben's likely on these main stairs, and he's almost going to be certainly full white flash. The hatch not open, no escape, I'm afraid, crying. Another flashbang coming in. All of this to delay the time. Secret doing a good job of using their remaining utility to hold on here. 17 seconds left to go. And of course, don't forget, the C4 will have opened up a large hole in the floor, so there's likely going to be some vertical here that Secret can try and exploit. But with the time continuing to tick, we now know that there is no longer enough of it for Crying to successfully disable the diffuser. And Savage, he's going to pick up his 4th kill. He didn't even need that last one, but he'll take Crying's name just for the sake of it.
Secret didn't really do anything too complicated. They played upstairs where you're supposed to. You open up the canto wall, you kind of lie low somebody in towards lobby, just holding on to those angles, cut off rotations. Then you just have just a shed load of players on the windows, which I think there's maybe one player. I think only just the one player, actually.
Grubby was definitely on the windows. I think there were other people that were on there for a portion of time, but the window play was really what could credit Secret with that round.
Window play is not only good for obviously shutting down rotations and just killing people in sight, but just the vision. You're going to know, okay, nobody's actually in this room because I can see all of the room. We then see the multi-plant where they just try and set up the shield and then plant behind him. Like I said, C4 from below, Valkyrie, a sleeper pick. A lot of teams don't expect that. One thing that really surprised me was whenever the diffuser was going down, we seen Deepak step out of Janitor and try and almost aggro to deny the plant. He doesn't need to do that because you have a C4 below. So why is he then looking to fish for a kill?
I think that's why he hesitated, because it was the hesitation that got him.
There was certainly a bit of hesitation. That should have been supplied saying, we're just going to C4 from below. He doesn't need to move his position. And then he gives that kill away. I mean, Spoit did just get good nighted. Let's also remember that Savage played exceptionally well. But just little moments like that, just Rogue, it seemed to be a miscommunication. He does not need to push. Deepak does not need to push whenever there's a C4 below.
Savage has received the fresh on desk buff here.
He called him out.
4-1 so far. Playing Ossa here for a basement attack.
I mean, we called him out last week. We said we haven't seen the best of Savage as of yet. Could this be his moment?
Have we got the 1 week late buff?
Is this the life game for Savage? Is it?
Quite possibly. Already looking to gain quick control here inside of Garage. He's going to drop the Ossa shield and look to see if he can find himself a kill. Leon's going to pick himself up too with the SMG-11. Look at him go. Long-range engagement or not. He just knocks them down for fun. Turns his attention now to the gold hatch, but instead will be taken out. This is a very quick-fire round in contrast to how we are used to seeing this side play. Already, there are only 2 defenders left for Rogue, and Spoit's going to drop a hatch immediately into Kendrew's lap, and we're going to see the final kill come in from Astro.
What?
That was blink and you miss it, Demo.
What have I just witnessed? Just get that away from me.
That was a little bit messy.
A double push into Garage. Leon's not even in Garage. Leon's not in Garage to begin with, right? Ossa in. Just sees a smoke, just walk past, puts away the shield. His teammate then gets pinged, and then he gets pinged. And then they still win the round. Then they just get 5 consecutive kills. Oh, get that away from me.
It's kind of hilarious because all of the reasons why we said that basement is going to be a rough site, the yokai drones, the Goyo, this is all timed. This is all like last 15, 20 second stuff. That round was over inside of the first
they
half.
went for a Garage lobby rush, essentially.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Deary me.
God, I hate that. I don't know, I just hate rounds like that. It's just...
The thing is, that's the kind of round you can play at Secret when you've got nothing to lose.
Those are the kind of rounds that annoy me, because realistically, Secret played that horrifically inside a Garage. Losing 2 players, that round should be done, and then they end up winning the round. So then you have to question, what in God's earth is Rogue doing
They're committed,
to lose
though.
from that?
I think Secret committed.
Well, we've said that about Secret. Secret are a team where if they call a strat, everyone commits to it. No matter how bad or how silly it may seem in the strat book, they will go for it and they will commit to it. That's one thing you cannot say about Secret. You cannot say that they don't die for the badge.
But it worked. In
They
round
live
number
and
3.
die. Or else, you know, we start to see Secret be indecisive, which was their biggest issue last split, wasn't it? Was just how indecisive they were.
Well, they're not going to be able to do that again because they aren't attacking into the same site. They're back to open area. Now they get another chance at this, and they can maybe correct some of the wrongs that they did previously in round number 1. Mainly not dealing with Spoit at elevators. Rogue's roam game in round number 1 was very light, and at this point in the round, they'd already dipped themselves off and were getting themselves down those main stairs. This time, they're sticking around for just a tad longer. But we are going to see an opening pick from Savage. It's crying. Just gives us a view there of Spoit's body as it falls to the floor, as he is going to retreat this time. Only about 5 or 10 seconds later than previously, but still top floor has been given up.
Savage has Spoit's number today. Seems to be that way.
Speed dial.
Yeah, Spoit, again, always the player that you look towards in this team. Very rarely you would see him be as neutralized as what he is being right now in the defense. He is a menace in the defense. I think we've seen a few times he's been exposed in the attack where teams have actually started to double up on him. But in terms of the defense, Spoit is a difficult person to deal with because he's just everywhere. Equip that with the raw mechanical gun skill that he has. Whew, he is a handful. But Secret have done very well with just winning the engagement. I mean, it's simple siege, isn't it? Just shoot him in the head. He can't do anything.
Got the confidence here from Secret. Grubby's going to nail a kill there onto Leon. No doubt off the back of a bit of information Savage was potentially providing above. No chance for refrags on these either, Demo. These are kills that are coming just through clean info gathering from Secret. Looks as though Slevin's maybe lining himself up for one, but no, turns his back, crying. Takes the opportunity that he was given, can turn his attention toward these main stairs. Now look to see if he can find any more, but wasn't anticipating Astro to be lower. Astro maybe grabs 2, no, just does a load of damage in onto Kanto instead. Kanto can then retreat back into the side, but look at all the vertical.
Just everything's being opened up right now against Rogue. This is not a favorable position. Kanto wins the engagement against Savage. Deepak with another. All of a sudden, it's went into a 2 versus 2. Look how separated Astro and Kendra are. They're both on either ends of the bomb site. One on a window, one pushing in through the double door. Deepak in a great position to essentially shut down both of them with the angles that he has set up. If Kendra jumps in, he's just going to be slaughtered. Kanto finds Astro, and there should be the LMG coming in. A great 2v4 from Deepak and Kanto.
Really well played there from Deepak, just digging himself in deep into the site. It's a frustrating job, but somebody has to do it. Tucking yourself into the corner, knowing you've got the crossfires, and just letting the Alder do the rest of the work.
Oh, really worrying round there from Secret, has to be said. They've done so well. They've neutralized the roam game, a 2v4, and they had, what, about 40 seconds to go in a 2v4?
Entry was really good.
Why are they not taking, honestly, 30 seconds to say, right, what are we doing? What is the game plan? Because it looked as if a few of them jumped the gun before anything happened. What should have happened was Secret say, okay, they're both going to be in sight. We're just going to drop default and plant behind the bar, or just plant behind the office kind of desk area in the default corner. We're going to plant there, and we're going to all push in at the same time, and we're just going to overwhelm them. 3, 2, 1, go. Why is that not being done?
Especially given something that's got to be remembered is that Rogue aren't really bringing any denial. They're not playing the smoke.
They've been neutralized. The Echo's not there anymore.
They're not playing the smoke. They're not playing the C4s. Again, we saw a round with no C4, so surely a plant attempt undercover is a good option to go for.
Kanto got a kill from, you know, where the hatch is in that corner of open area.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. He gets that kill. Now the information's been shared. How's he been able to get another kill in the exact same position where he has not moved? Both of the players, each 2 kills that Rogue players got there, they were static in their positioning. They didn't move. They just stood there. Oh, I mean, it's a very Secret-esque round, isn't it?
It is. And again, it comes into the fact that they've got nothing to lose in this game, so they can just be playing a little bit faster and a little bit looser than normal. And we've definitely seen that demonstrated here. Back up to the top floor we go. A successful round for Secret on the attack. Can largely be credited to the window play and, of course, the little bit of Monty play early on that gained them some quick ground. However, we're not seeing that this time, but we do still have very tempting selection over on the right-hand side, Demo. We've got the Capitao and we've got the Ying. More importantly, maybe than all of that, we've got the IQ as well, just to search out for those Valkyrie cameras.
Yeah, Valkyrie did cause them a bit of a
because there was still a Valkyrie camera up right at the bitter end of the last round, even though the plant had gone down. Crying still had the red pings.
Whenever a C4 from Low's net at 2 kills, that's already worthy, isn't it? Bringing the IQ. Capitao and Ying, you already know where they're going to be stationed up. Window play will be the name of the game for Secret. I do wonder what their idea is with using the firebolts, because there isn't too many positions that you would look at for Rogue's defense and say, he's going to be headlocked into that position, he's not going to be able to move, let's get him out of there using fire. Rogue are very fluid, I think, in their movement. Generally, the only time you would see somebody static in a position would be Deepak and the Echo. But as you know, if no Echo, he now has an opportunity where he can move a little bit more smoothly across the bomb site. So I think Rogue are going to set up a very adaptive defense, so they're not going to be headlocked into these positions that I just mentioned.
Not sure if that was an attempt from Slebin to burn out any sort of realistically what he was trying to do. I think he's trying to burn the castle barricade, but
did he guess it?
didn't grab it on the first one. They know that there are two people playing there inside a front desk.
Oh, he did grab it.
Actually got it on the second try. It was rather impressive. There's been so much info exchanged here from Savage as well. One of his Twitch drones is actually on the chandelier, and that can feed across info and lets everyone know just exactly where people are playing. Obviously, with those Capitao firebolts, you're expecting those to get in and root out those defenders that are otherwise pinned. Slebin on the long angle, looking through Kanto wall. Isn't going to be needed as Grubby takes Spoit down. Spoit not having a great time on the entry here.
Oh, Leon, quite literally playing with fire. Holds his ground. Capitao bolt just a little bit too much to the left. There goes another one being fired in. And again, Deepek once more playing with fire. Both of the Capitao bolts not hitting their targets. That means Leon and Deepek are still full HP, and Secret have kind of stalled out just a tad. Look who has the diffuser. Kendra on the Ying will be pushing up in towards Banana. Kanto full flash. Is there going to be any coverage? No, Leon gets shot in the back. Kanto will find Grubby. Kendra needs to go big. You have the Ying. You have to push in. You have to try and find these kills. Kanto still alive. Finds another Savage. Is off the board. Another Candela. Kanto, oh, gets blinded by the last one. Astro now seeing if he can shift his way into long desk. Astro, it should be an easy kill. It should be an easy kill, Astro, and yes, it will be. Now Secret, all they need to do is get the plant down, because somehow Deepek, he's been down, and Cryan had to go for the revive.
We are going to see the plant now attempted as the swing comes through the corner. Slevin grabs himself one. Astro a second. Secret with some serious aggression there to pull that round off. It didn't look possible, I'll be honest. We felt as though they were stalling out. In hindsight, they were just setting everything up. They had all of their ducks lined up in a row. The Capitao fireballs, they weren't great. They could have been used a little bit better to zone players off as that whole push was going through. But still, the Candelas. That's why we see Ying ban so much. If you can just walk your way in to front desk, throw a Candela, and pick up one guy that's running away, keep yourself alive, stabilize, grab Kanto. Sure, he got a kill in the meantime. Pretty scrappy stuff from both sides, but Secret, they're showing us that flair. They're showing us a little bit of excitement here, and it's the siege that I love watching, Demo.
I do feel as if Kanto was alive for far too long. Has to be said. How's he got 2 kills in that position? I'll never know.
I mean, Kanto's had 4 kills in the last 2 rounds by just lying down under desks, basically.
Yeah. He's just been stood in one position. And
He's
just
been
kills.
lying down under desks.
Yeah. Yeah, again, Rogue have been giving away that opening death quite a lot, haven't they?
Spoit's had a nightmare.
Spoit's just been neutralized.
Yeah.
We said it, think back to all the way back to the first week. Navi versus Rogue. Navi neutralized Rogue on the attack, and we've seen that it did hinder what Rogue do. You know, we mentioned that Rogue, they've built the team around him. You know, we've seen that immediately. And at the moment, Spoit just being targeted. And we always question that about Rogue is, okay, if your main man isn't popping off, if he isn't shining, what's plan B? What do you then do? What do you do then?
I don't think that the reliance on Spoit this season has been particularly, you know...
I mean, I wouldn't say that the team, especially if you look at their major victory, it wasn't solely relying on Spoit. Obviously, he was a big reason why, but we know that everyone played their part. It wasn't a one-man team for sure, but they had an exceptional young man. I mean, Spoit could walk into any of these teams and it would make the team 10 times better. We know that, just because of how good he is individually.
Doesn't matter when you lose in the opening picks. Again, this time not just one, but 2. Cryan is going to find himself some shots, eventually lands onto Astro. A little bit of a shake there on the old Alibi MX4. Gets the job done, takes one back as a refrag. Still, don't forget, this is a basement attack, so any time wasted on this top floor is good time spent.
But not whenever you're losing 2 players, Ollie.
Still, with the removal of Astro, it's a couple of nades gone. There's still 2 in the hands of Grubby. But Secret have lent into a little bit more denial this time. They've got the C4 and they have the smoke canisters. Now the attention and focus is going to be on trying to get that wall open.
But remember, they cannot plant unless the players upstairs have been cleared out. You have a hatch that looks directly onto that default plant position. So Secret, I'm sure they're aware of that. You'd expect to see that they're aware of that. And they actually are. They, instead of trying to push in towards tellers and archives, which you've seen some teams try and do, instead they're just going to sit on the hatch upstairs inside of Janitor to then deny anyone playing on that open area hatch. Secret have lost another player. Now it is going to be an even splitting. Almost lose the Sleb in there as well. What's going on with Secret, Ollie?
Someone really needs to try and shut Crying down here. He's getting away with far too much. Does take a bit of damage there, but he can continue to play loose here inside a staff room, just putting shots in here and there and being a constant threat. Secret are going to have to try and deal with him, and they're going to have to face up to it. Kendrew does just exactly that. Pushes himself up blue stairs, takes Crying down. That's now going to free everything up a little bit, especially given that we've got Savage on the hatch above, and he's going to say Leon. Leon was trying to assist there a little bit, but he got caught out. Deepek's got it all to do. 1 versus 2 now. 30 seconds to hold on. Kenny comes in. He really took the bull by the horns in that round. He had the diffuser. He was thinking about a plan, but he said, no, we need to get kills, Demo.
The amount of times where we've seen Kendry where he's probably sitting there thinking, what's everyone doing? Yeah. And then he just goes in and he just says,
I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
Yeah. If you want a job doing,
fires on the Infinity Gauntlet. Up he goes. That's just Kendry in a nutshell. That's the way he's always been for this team. He is that rock for this side. We know that.
4-2 on the attack for Secret.
Good.
Attackers need to
Good.
locate and defuse bombs.
It'd be a hell of an upset, this, wouldn't it?
Let's just remember. Let's just take it back. Rogue, they've had an old habit whenever they get in these positions where they should be making top 4. We've seen it in stage 1, Ollie. They should have been making top 4 and then just crumbled. You know, it's a side which in some form it is kind of built on, you know, chokes. You know, Leon's been through a lot of that before in the past, you know, before we kind of got the change of players in. It's just the way, I don't know, just something about Rogue and the blood. They never, even though, you know, the probability is with them and they should be going in to win these engagements, there's just always something about it that I just, ever since that stage 1, oh, it's tricky to shake. It's tricky to shake.
I think especially we're coming back to Bank as well, knowing that Rogue have had a little bit of trouble on her previously. And Secret, you know, having done the homework on that. And it seems like Bank is quite an iconic map for Rogue as well when it's a big game or it's a game that means something. We'll see how it goes. Spoit is going for a rather quick entry here. He removes that bulletproof. Obviously, the sound alone is enough to telegraph his location that he's going to be coming through here. It looks like he's trying to build himself a little bit of confidence. Currently sitting 1 and 5. Had a horrible time on the entry death on the defense. But this time on the attack, looking a little bit better. Immediately pushes himself through. Takes down Astro. Removing the Jaeger. Also shield placed by Crying. We can now see a little bit of a beachhead setup here and a bit of jumping on into the drones. Crying himself is going to pick up a kill onto Grubby. And it looks as though Rogue are going for a very similar strat to what Secret did, and that is just really push through Garage and brute force it. Savage playing close with the shotgun. I imagine the hatch above him is reinforced. It is. Getting constantly pinged out there on the drone. The drone is Kanto's, of course, and Kanto is the player inside of Tunnel. The drone will since be removed, and Savage, recognizing that, realizes, hey, I'm probably getting pushed from the top of blue. Let's have a quick look and see what's going on. Did he catch a glimpse? That's the question. Trying to play close with the shotgun, trying to keep that engagement in his favor. For the time being, not going to be gifted any opportunity.
Savage, does he have any idea that Deepak? No, he has no idea. Rogue start off with a very quick attack in towards Garage, but Ollie, look how good that they've controlled the game. They've slowed it right down to their pace and they've put Secret under pressure. Perfect example of, look what Savage has just done. They know they're down men, they have to start pushing for kills, and Roger's going to sit there and just keep gaining more of that advantage in the man count.
Slebin's got a horrible task ahead of him here. Those army barricades are almost working both ways as they give something for the attackers to peek off as well. He's going to try and make his way down main stairs. We already know that Garage was pretty much given up to Rogue in the early part of the round. Kendrew is going to get himself a down and a kill onto Kanto, but that's all he will get. A little bit of a scrappy one to close things out, but I don't think anyone was in any doubt there as to which way that round was headed. Nook or not, you are still going to get Spoit getting himself into Garage nice and early on. And this time, really announcing it. Little timeout here for Secret. Probably a great time to take it, given that they've still got 1 round lead. But they can just have a bit of a conversation about how they want to approach the defenses.
Rogue have showcased the way that they're going to play those attacks. They can slip in with these quick, aggressive plays and really catch Secret by surprise. But then look how good that they did of just slowing everything down. For Secret, probably the best way I would say that they can go up against Rogue is honestly just set up for the refrags, because Rogue will kill you in the man count. That's the way Rogue like to do it. They get Spoit in. We mentioned before what he can do. Cryan will slip in for a backstab, and they'll gain these, these individual picks, and then Rogue start to have that man advantage, and then Rogue are very good from playing from the front. I mean, they're also very good at playing from the back. We know that as well. This is why they're such a good team. But that's the best way. You need to make sure you keep that man advantage level, and you don't give Rogue any advantages whatsoever. Because if you give Rogue just that little bit of an insight in, they will destroy you. That's what the best teams do. You have to play perfect against these big teams.
This is where things do start to get just a little bit more pressurizing for Secret. Not going to opt for another bite of the cherry downstairs. Probably quite rightly so. It wasn't a site that did Rogue any good either, especially given the bans that we've got here today. Instead, they're going to be going for open area. A little bit of drone hunting there from Savage. And a couple of 6 picks for Rogue. A little bit more information is maybe the order of the day. Swapping out the hard breach there for a book, likely with a secondary hard breach gadget. Along with the Zero bringing that same utility. I think the secondary hard breach gadget on bank is really where it starts to shine for me.
When did hard breach gadget get added in? A year ago? I think we knew immediately. Well, it must have been it hasn't.
Surely not.
It has not been less than a year. There's no way it's been less than a year. Has it been? No. No way. Get it up. Honestly, it could be God knows how long. Slabin finds Cryan. That's what Secret need to do, is do not give Rogue anything. That's what Cryan's known for, just slipping in, infiltrating his way through the back line and looking for a free kill. But if you're ready for him, you've got that heads up, no issue. So Rogue down a man immediately, nades off the board. Still have 2 more in the form of Kanto, but you'd have liked to have, of course, had Cryan alive with those nades to try and pocket any utility, any shields that may be set up, any Maestro cameras, more importantly, I would say. And Secret, since they haven't lost that man, they can still keep playing aggressive on this roam game.
Ooh,
oh, here he goes. There he goes.
There. Still, the Thinker might have been nerfed, but you can't nerf Spoit. Juices himself back up.
He went from 1-5 to 5-5, by the way.
Yeah. I think, and that's the sort of caliber of player that he is, and I think it speaks a lot to the mental on the side of Rogue as well. We always call them a vibes team. We always call them a team that like to keep themselves in a good mood, like to really work on that mental game, because it's such a big part of Siege. And being able to be 1-5 and then immediately flip things around in the space of only a couple of rounds is really important toward all of that.
Oh.
Grubby. Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
And that all came from the Zero Cam inside the lobby. They had eyes on him all day off the week. But do they know about Slabin? Also inside of lobby. Okay, I don't know if he got drone there, but he shot it anyway. So now they know another one is going to be off-site. And Slabin trying to get back as quickly as he can and will successfully do that. So a minute to go, Rogue with a 2-man advantage. Surely we can't see Secret do onto Rogue what Rogue did onto them. No way. Come on. This is Rogue we're talking about.
It shouldn't happen.
They need this round. They need this round, in my opinion.
It's eerily similar.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
But Kendry on the alibi. On the Maestro with the Alder.
Alibi's changed a bit.
Certainly has. I think he's just heard somebody drop there,
yeah.
but not a great deal that he can do about it to swing. He's probably not got himself in the best position there, really.
He's in a good spot to deny them if they try and drop for the default plant, though. That's a good position for him.
See how much Leon can gain here. Kendry, he might only need to find himself 1 kill here. Slebin's got to keep himself alive. Finds himself 2-3 on the round.
Go,
Kendry's still alive here. He can start ripping through with that Alder. Picks himself one. Down onto a second. What a clutch from Secret. 2 versus 4. Great positioning there from Kendry. You called it, Demo, at the time.
I know. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, surely not. It can't end like this. There's no way. It can't be. I just thought, same positions pretty much. Surely Rogue, come on, it's Rogue. They're a different caliber than Secret, but oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But Kendry, slippy as ever. Just one lapse of information.
Yeah.
Slabin played out of his Skin!
So Kendrew
Oh,
gets almost the glory there, but Slebin had the
the
hardest
shot he
job.
had, and then he kills the guy walking in cafeteria.
Slebin had the hardest job without a shadow of a doubt.
Honestly, I mean, they come back from this where Spike just opens up. This from Slebin.
This was the shot.
This. Back.
That shot, and then I think he turns. Yeah, this one. They got the ping information. There was obviously a call
They
out
didn't
there.
know. Did you see where Buck looked? He looked hard right. They had
Yeah.
no idea where
No
Kendry was at
information.
that whole idea. So just a lapse from Rogue. Oh, that is a crucial round in my opinion. I said that Rogue, they need the 4-4 because
Yeah.
now you really cannot afford anything, because if they slip up once, they lose points. They lose a point.
Good residual information there as well, with the Maestro cameras still being alive, able to provide those yellow pings.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Secret firmly in the driver's seat here, Demo. As you say, 1 point would see a big spanner thrown into the works for Rogue's hope to go to the major.
Again, still not over Rogue. Nothing stopping Rogue. Pulling 4 rounds in a row, because we know they can do that. We know they have it in them. But
I like the setup that we've got going down here with Kendrew. He's got the bulletproof shield. He's also got the mute jammer and the reinforced wall. They're really trying to reinforce that position. Obviously, a Rotero drone is something that you're really going to look toward to try and remove that shield. That isn't being brought here by Rogue. It's just going to provide a little bit of a headache. The mirror windows as well
Mute jammer
give you
equipped
that
as
little
well.
bit of info. Real solid setup here from Secret.
I'm seeing an Amaru. What do we have in store with this? What is going to be the avenue?
Do you roll the dice?
Is he maybe looking up the elevator hatch? Onto counter position? He could be. The way he's positioned himself with the droning as well, that's the only thing he droned was that elevator pretty much. He's going to go for that, isn't he? He is.
We're going to need something more than that. We surely need the mute jammers to be removed as well. We're going to see the burn come through. The nade just bounced off the pillar. And there we go. Mute jammer removed.
They cleared this. They checked this elevator. Slebin has slipped back into that same position. Oh, this could be disastrous. Oh,
Oh,
no,
it was
it's
only
the
the clone! I think we all got baited there, Demo. I thought it was the Yana as well. Slebin, at least he manages to get himself out. And now almost the game is up, because Spoit is going to be much more hesitant to Amaru up this hatch.
No, well, now they do know the elevator's fully clear, because Canto being opened, they know that guy, the castle who dropped below, they now
You
they now
remove the element of
he's on that same
surprise and you
position.
potentially pin yourself.
So they are going to slip him in to that said position. Still, they're trying to remove these layers. That's where the castle barricades come into great effect. Somehow Astra's been allowed just to sprint past the canter walls being opened up, as plain as day, and 3 of them are actually going to be tucked in towards that stock. But nope, Astra instead drops below, maybe looking to hunt Spoit. Maybe they have an idea, an inkling that Rogue are up to something. Just waiting for the go-ahead. A lot of players from Rogue on the windows also, Ollie, but with no picks at the moment for Rogue, this is going to be difficult to get the plant down.
Especially with given the time left as well. Spoit finally makes the play, gets himself up the hatch. But has he got himself into a good position or not? Grubby, he snatches a kill onto Crying. Spoit is likely pinned down here as well, given the pressure that we've seen coming through from stock. It's all about whether these window players can start to shift these defenders across. Kanto going to get himself into sight here, while Astro picks up another kill over onto Deepek. The diffuser in the hands of Leon Gids. He can start to try and work that mirror window that was left very kindly for him by the defenders. Kills continue to change and Spoit's activated.
Two
Grabs
downs.
himself too. Don't forget the diffuser now cold on the ground. 7 seconds left to go. Spoit, you've got to push in, my friend. You aren't going to be able to find that and the kill. Surely not. Pre-fires for all he's worth, but cannot secure the kill. Secret put themselves onto a match point and steal away the full 3 points available from Rogue.
Playing spoiler. Secret have made Rogue drop a point. Still Rogue in it, of course, to try and win in overtime, but oh boy, they need to pull 3 rounds in the regular to do that, and Secret at the moment, they've got a good form of momentum. I think Secret, just, they played the way that you should be playing against Rogue. You give them nothing.
Yeah.
You don't give them picks.
Make everything as difficult as possible.
Yeah.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
They
from being
kept
hit
everyone
by
alive,
attackers.
and they just took the trades, because keep in mind, generally for that top floor, it is difficult to defend because the canter walls start to get opened up. You've got players in the windows. It can be easy just to be pinched and just getting taken out from any number of angles. Secret have done so well to not give those away. And whenever you're Rogue and you're sat in, what, 30, 20 seconds there, and like, okay, it's a 5v5. This is going to be difficult because not only, obviously, as we know, attackers are going to have a lot of crossfires on the defenders, equally defenders can have crossfires onto them. They're big open rooms, Ollie. You have nobody pressured in towards Skylight, which I think was a big
That was
thing.
a real big hole.
There was nobody towards Skylight. It allowed Secret to play those head height holes, looking on to that double door where they were trying to push in through the mirror window. Yeah, great round from Secret, but Rogue just could not get the picks that they were fishing for.
I think Skylight and Stock were two really overlooked areas.
You need to hit them elsewhere. You need to hit them just to put a bit of pressure onto Secret.
Let's see if Secret can do it now.
Honestly,
To be fair, they've played spoiler. They have upset the apple cart here. Can they go the whole way?
who do Rogue play for their last Playday? What's their last game? Is it Heroic? I want to say it's Heroic.
Pretty sure it's a big game.
I want to say it's Heroic. And that, again, is another game that... It's not an easy game. It's not like a TT9 that you're going up against.
It is Heroic.
This is, yeah. The apples all over the place, Ollie.
Heroic beating Secret last week, of course, inside a Super Week. 7-4.
Heroic still to play. I mean, surely this Rogue loss just helps everyone else as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it'll open, especially for our first game of the day as well.
Potential G2? Potential? Potential?
G2's percent has just skyrocketed.
Oh my goodness.
Not over yet.
Not over
Still
yet.
a chance. However, it's looking fairly slim. I'm going to need a big round here. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Press mouse 1. Sleben gets away with it. How is he alive, Demo?
Oh, I don't know. Leon will find Kendra. It looks as if Rogue have had enough. They're going very fast. Leon is carrying the diffuser. He is inside off sight. He can go for the plant. Cryan is also inside of sight. They're both in sight. Secret have been caught. What are they going to do? They have to retake. They know that at least one player's inside a kitchen because Sleben got peppered earlier on. Grubby's looking to retake from lobby, but Cryan is in a great position to stop that. Rogue have just seen, oh, there's no one in sight. Let's go and take it.
Secret falling foul to the age-old trick of, well, if no one's on site, we can just take it. They've got the plan down and now going to hold it in a post. Great shot there from Spoit, shutting Grubby down. Leon picks himself up yet another here as well. Sleben, he saw our first engagement, saw a good deal of chip damage dealt in from Spoit, and will eventually finish the job and get revenge. But how far can he go here? 1 HP to speak of. Navigates around the hatch. Maybe just hangs out for a little bit, Demo. What do you reckon? 15 seconds left, just sit in a corner. See if you can save that KD.
Yeah, his little smirk says, oh, I've lost.
Yeah. And we know there's nothing left for Sleben to do in this round, aside from keep a hold of that precious 7-4 that he's currently rocking. Just give his team 15 or so seconds to steady the ship there. Rogue seeing an opportunity and taking it shows just how deadly they are.
No fist bumps for the first time, and I've never seen what's going on there. Where's the fist bumps?
No vibes.
That tells a picture, in my eyes, of where the mentality is for Rogue, because they do certainly feel that, yeah, we've botched this a bit.
Is it no fist bumps or is it game face? Because everyone looks...
I mean, that was an angry round.
Everyone looks dangerous.
That was angry. Leon just walking in at a minute 40 with the diffuser. Whenever the whole open area holes are opened up to him. It's angry. Angry Rogue. And they need 2 more rounds of that.
2 more angry Rogue rounds.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
That's not the easy thing to say. Down to the basement we go. Now, remember, previously, this was
Secret got
a bit of a
clobbered.
spoit round,
He got clobbered last time.
but there was the Ossa. There isn't the Ossa this time unless it gets switched into, and it will.
There it is.
Just gotta wait. Just gotta be patient
That's
sometimes.
a good trick you have. See if you can say, oh, $1 million bucks is going to fall out of the sky. See what happens.
It's off topic for a match point game, but it's one of the ways that I like to train my dog.
Right.
Is to give him the command just as he's doing it and then reward him.
It's classic technique.
Because it makes you look
isn't
like you've got a really well-behaved dog.
Yep. Let's try. Rogue, if you win this game, you could go to the major.
No, you've got to say
Does
it
that
when,
work?
you've got to say it when they're just about to do it, Demo.
Okay. Which at the moment, they still need a few more rounds to get to that stage. Let's see if Rogue can keep it going and try and pull this into overtime. First pick is always so
dear.
important. Spoit's trying some form of gymnastics up in the skylight, Ollie. Oh, Astra almost caught him out there. That is not the way to start. That is not the way to start if you're Rogue.
It's like parkouring in front of all your friends and missing the easy jump, that one, isn't it?
Almost slipped and fallen. It could have been a calamity.
Did manage to juice himself up a little bit and can go to probably where he's meant to be, which is inside of the garage. This is where we saw him successful previously. However, Secret are putting a lot more attention onto this area. Got the Valkyrie cameras. And they've got the bulletproof.
Yep, that's good information. Again, exact same setup pretty much. If you're a Secret perspective, it's the exact same way. And
Oh,
no! Kenny. He tried to impact the Ossa, but then he's impacted himself because Spoit did so much damage. Oh,
a fumble.
the bag is on the floor.
A fumble if ever we saw one. Horrible timing. Leon going to add on to this pain as he takes Grubby down upstairs. Slevin might get gifted an opportunity, but no, is going to be taken out on the reverse by Kanto.
Angry.
This round is falling by the wayside as quickly as the last. Savage and Astro. They've got a whole minute and 20 to hold on, and they know, guess what? Garage is compromised. No longer can they rotate between the sites. We're now going to start to see this pressure coming vertically as the hatches get opened. Pings available for them. Drones in and around the site. Not going to be easy to hold on.
This has been the difference with Rogue right now. They haven't given away the picks, and then it's the thing we said about Secret. It's either they get the opening pick or they try and stay level. As soon as you give Rogue that man advantage, they will run over you. It's not even a question at that stage. They will win those rounds, and we're seeing the exact same thing happening here again for Secret. Astro still in it though. Kanto goes down. Savage on the back. No, gets shut down by Leon. A crucial kill because that could have been Diffuser called on the ground. And Astro, big round from the Gids. Rogue, another round back. 6-5.
Faces of intense concentration here on the side of Rogue. They know that they've dropped the ball in this game already, but they don't want to fall over it as well. Slowly but surely, clawing these rounds back and hoping to take us into an overtime. They've managed to claw 2 back so far, Demo. Can they grab the third and guarantee that we go all the way?
Well, we go back to the disaster round for Rogue. It's open area. It was just a lack of information that collapsed Rogue. Secret, what are they going to do? They have a change-up. There's Astro on the dock, Ollie.
Secret look a little bit rabbit in the headlights at the moment, don't they?
Well, the past 2 rounds, they haven't really even been in it. It's not been a contest in my eyes.
It's like they just don't know what's hit them. Rogue have just gone into super mode.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Rogue aren't playing the greatest siege at the minute.
Well,
They're just
no, 'cause
playing
that's why they've lost 6
very
rounds.
angry. Yeah. They're playing very aggressive and very angry, and if 1 or 2 of those engagements don't go their way, then the whole round falls apart. Fortunately for them, they're very skilled, and they can get away with playing this extremely aggressive play style. However, all it takes is for 1 or 2 of those kills not to come through, and the round is entirely falling apart.
If Secret can just maintain the man count and find the opening picks, it should be good enough.
Yeah.
But they've allowed Rogue to get in. Rogue have the momentum. Spoit is firing all cylinders.
I think Leon as well, to be honest. He's been a big part of these rounds and some of these, you know, why is he there moments almost.
Again, just Rogue just probing, looking for the opportunity. Rogue, as we know, if they see something's on, they go for it. We've seen that already during this game for that Archives and Tellers defensive. They know they can go for something, but that could be crucial in the grand scheme of things. Grubby eliminates Kanto. And Secret, we mentioned if they can find that opening pick, they will be in a such better position than Rogue for the majority of the round. Now, who do we look to? Do we look to Cryan to appear on those backstabs? Does Spoit go in? Does he do what Spoit does and just kill everything that moves? I have no idea. A minute gone, and really nothing has changed for Rogue. They haven't got really a control of anything, and they may be looking to opt for a rush, Ollie. We're seeing Spoit maybe rotate towards that single window and looking for a jump, and Leon could easily just try and walk in sight. That might be what they're headed to, but that's risky, Ollie. We know that's risky with information still up from the Maestro cameras. Oh, Rogue need to have some good gun skill and some good teamwork to make that happen. Cryan, there's a backstab. Grubby is down. And now we see the push in. It's Kendra with the LMG. He stalls them out for the meantime. Flashbangs go in. There's red pings, but Rogue are dominating the bomb site.
Spoit comes in with the final 2. There we see the fist bumps finally, as Rogue can breathe a sigh of relief. They've at least leveled things up into an overtime here.
Put your hand on my chest. Oh my goodness. It's about to pop out.
Honestly, when I saw that opening pick come through, I thought, here we go, it's on.
That's just, oh.
But again, Rogue just throw caution to the wind. They could have stabilized.
They said, let's just ignore that.
But they could have stabilised and they could have retaken top floor. Sure, you're losing Kanto, you're losing your sledge, a big part of ripping open the floor. But you still have the book. You still have Leon. You still have Leon on the book, and you can try and make that and work that through into the plan. But again, they just throw caution to the wind and say, push site,
Win your engagement.
rush B,
Just win the engagement.
win your ones,
That's it. And they've done
don't
that.
miss. And that's what they did. Somehow they've managed to drag us back to an overtime. I think regardless of the result now, they're still not going to be happy
No,
at the way that the game's gone.
they can still lose this.
Attackers
They could still lose it.
Lose it.
And, I mean, the full 3 points are gone. It's been dashed.
What's the percentages if they get an OT win?
10
Do we have that on hand, production?
An overtime win for Rogue. It is
91%, which is still very,
good.
very good. 72% is actually the worst they come out with. They fixed the dam. It was leaking a bit. It's still they lost a bit of water, but
that 58%.
it can be redeemable.
Yeah, that 58% didn't look very good at all.
Because I'm pretty sure, even with an overtime loss, I'm pretty sure just go and win next week, and that should still see them over the line, surely. And remember, other teams will be dropping points today. You'd expect Heroic M&M. There's going to be points shared or lost or won either way. So it should still be okay. The worst thing for Rogue was going to be a full loss. So it's still doable. And of course, an overtime win, 91%. Yeah, just get the flights booked.
Get the flights booked.
Get the flights booked.
I'm not too sure about that. Well, they've done the hard work. Can they now close it all out? Sides have switched in the overtime. We've got Secret on the attack.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
There we
Secret
go.
losing main. Kendrick, he's going to be the first to fall. Kanto. Some newfound confidence from Rogue here in that opening engagement, something they struggled greatly with on the defenses. In the overtime, they are now picking them up.
The momentum that they had in the attack is now carrying over to the defense, because Kanto's now out and about, getting those opening picks. Kanto, for the most part, hasn't really been able to get into the game. You know, sitting there 6-9, was 5-9 before that kill came in. A bit more confidence for Rogue, and this is where they've oozed into the matchup. They've warmed up, they're in, the momentum's swiftly on their side, and now it just feels like a massive snowball that Secret have to try and stop. Secret, they've got upstairs control, but at what cost? You've lost the ace, you've lost hard breach, the only hard breach that you had. That's a massive, massive kill in the grand scheme of things. And now you look at Secret and you think, what's going to be their pocket shot? What's going to be their pocket play? We see how good Rogue can play whenever things are not going to the plan. Can Secret do the same?
Well, Astro's good for a kill onto Crying. Slevin now going to try and push in as the floor gets ripped open and players do start to rotate through, but Kanto is going to find himself a second. Slevin has eyes on, but receives a ton of chip damage. Grubby has come in to join him into these tellers now as well, but of course losing your heart breach means that quad wall remains safe, and you're now left with a single doorway, single window, or double doorway push, neither of which is going to be appetizing. Kanto just gives himself up for free, gets caught in no man's land in the middle of the site, and now we could see some nades sent through from Grubby. Conscious of the flank, needs to keep himself safe.
I want to see a rotation somewhere from the back, because realistically, what's Savage going to be doing upstairs with no hatches being opened? All he's going to be doing is sitting in vertical play. I want to see a rotate towards that single window. We've seen Rogue have great success from that position. I wonder if he's going to do the same. He will drop down. Is he going to go generous? Is he going to go single window? It will be a single window play from Savage. This is crucial, but no, Spoit just sat in a corner. Catches him out by surprise. Slevin all by himself. A great read from Spoit. He just sat there, just said, hello, it's me.
You got one angle to watch, and he's going to watch it as best as he can. Spoit reading the play quite well there, knowing that that was a big point of vulnerability for Rogue. And now they drag things back. Overtime, match point. We've been all over the place in this one demo.
What a game.
A 4-2 half from Secret to kick things off. Getting themselves onto match point at 6-3. And here we sit. 7-6 for Rogue. Looking to take these 2 points. You can see that just from the player's perspective and the player's face cams, the vibes have increased a little bit. They're still not quite where they sometimes are, but everyone looks a little bit more relieved now. It's certainly not the way that Rogue would have expected or wanted today to go. They've at least managed to drag things back and recover somewhat.
Yep.
Just got one more round to grab.
I mean, as good as Rogue have played, I mean, we have to question Secret there in that attack. A very flat-footed attack whenever your ace is getting picked off as the opening death.
Yeah.
Question marks have to be flagged. You have to say, how's that happened? What's going on in that department? And we've seen how much of a blunder it really was, because then they had to force themselves into jumping in windows and pushing in doorways, whereas realistically, you would want that hatch, wouldn't you?
Attackers are moving to the bomb.
Ooh, nice little play there. I wasn't sure if Sleben had actually spotted the Twitch drone of Crying. Obviously, Crying, very well known for his Valkyrie plays himself, is going to have a keen eye for where those cameras are going to get placed. And of course, the Twitch is a reasonable means of destroying said camera.
Difficult man to deal with, because he can be just anywhere and everywhere all at the same time, isn't he? He's just... He's played a big part, I think, with Rogue. I think obviously we've looked towards Spoit, but Cryan has to get a nod just of where he's the kind of player I look at whenever things aren't going well. He can get 2 kills out of nowhere, and that's it. It changes the complete dynamic of the round.
Yeah, I mean, Cryan on the stage is plus 23 currently.
Yeah.
Highest rated player on Rogue, and has really flourished.
He's not the main man, and I think that's where it helps him, because he doesn't have that same pressure. I mean, obviously Spoit's going to have all the pressure because he's the main entry, he's the one who has to go in,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Cryan can pick his moments, which I think is the best way to play him, and just let him do his own thing.
Plenty of info being gathered here for Rogue. Got a nice heads up onto the janitor player of Savage, who is fairly well fortified
Yeah, he is.
inside of here. Got a couple of ADSs to go with, but is going to drop off. Whether that was intentional or not, it will leave him down on the site. Cryan can look to push in now. Rogue, what a change of pace, Demo. Given the way that we saw Angry Rogue attack for a couple of rounds, they've just dragged things back entirely. We're at the halfway point. There's 10 people alive. Kanto's taking a bit of damage, but look how well they're setting themselves up here.
Yeah, they are, but again, Secret, we've mentioned before, if they can just keep themselves alive, not give away any picks, that's good for them. Rogue always do better from the front foot. Sleben playing a dangerous game, looking up at the vertical holes, and he's still alive. For the meantime, Kanto has not rooted him out, but there we go. One fin onto another. Kanto catches Sleben, and this is where I think Rogue can just control the game a lot more now. They have that opening pick. There's an extra man that they can rotate elsewhere. 50 seconds to go. Still a good chunk of utility. Pretty much all the utility. You know, flashbang, smokes, the nades are there. Yeah, should be. I've said it before. It should be an easy round for Rogue, but sometimes I know it always doesn't go to plan.
Well, there's a kill onto Leon, and that's going to render the diffuser cold upstairs. Not the best place for it to be with 35 seconds left. Still opportunity for Rogue to recover. Cryan, he's trying to push on through. I don't think he knows someone's on the lower part of the staircase here. Astro going to do his best to try and play spoiler. Can just lurk in this position until the bitter death of the round. Cryan, since rotated on through, and maybe looks to get himself into
Spoit's in that
small
window
desk.
again.
We do have the diffuser recovered.
Seconds remaining.
Everyone's setting themselves up here as utilities flooded on in. We see the Finker boost come in just to give everyone a little bit of an edge. Now is Astro's
Great
time,
pass.
and he will strike. Picks up one. Savage with 2 as he just shuts down Rogue's approach here. Astro closing it onto Spoit. Everything going Secret's way. Demo, we're going all the way.
All the way. Where's Tim? Where is he? Get him in. Tricast. Let's go. Last round. I need to stop saying that should be an easy round for Rogue. I need to stop saying that. That's twice now it's happened for that open area where they have that man advantage. They have plenty of time to set up the attack. One thing that neither side has really done is that quad wall. Quad wall has been ignored.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And realistically, they're starting to pay for it. The biggest position that seems to have rattled both teams has been, what's the best way to describe it?
Used by attackers.
It's, I don't know how to describe it. It's the wall between open area into kitchen, that rotate wall, where you have that desk, where Sleben picked up that great kill. That has been the biggest issue that teams have suffered with. One thing you can do is open up that quad wall. You have a direct line of sight onto that position.
The strange thing about that last round is we even saw quad wall. We saw the mute jammers removed off it. The nade from above sorted that. I know there was an ADS, and I'm not sure if the ADS did actually catch the nade. But there was an intent there from Rogue to open up the quad wall. But again, time was really not on their side. Obviously, they lost Leon, which means they lose the book, which is, of course, a lot of this vertical destruction that we're looking toward. Sure, they still got the sledge knocking around, but it just wasn't concise enough. And for players to be allowed to sit in those power positions on that site right up until the end of the round, it does pose a little bit of a problem. There needs to be more pressure from multiple angles.
Last round. Will Rogue have a 70% chance or a 90% chance? That is a big difference. Let's see. Can Rogue get it done?
I mean, just the fact that this game's gone to an overtime match point is a bonus in itself, in my opinion.
It's been a great game of Siege. Setup from Rogue. So, of course, you're expecting to see a roam game for the basement. You're looking to see teams try and take control of that open area, open up the hatch, yada, yada, yada. But Rogue have done a bit of a twist. They're actually extending all the way to the top floor, and they've also brought in a castle to place some of these barriers for Sploit. One of them being on that double door for the long desk, so that means you're not going to get picked off from the windows. And we know windows are very tricky on Bank. You have to be careful of all of them, because it's quite easy for a player to get themselves onto it and just sit and hold these angles. So they're basically just saying, that's fine, you can have top floor, but we're just going to keep falling back and keep falling back. They have these waves of defense, don't they?
Astro, an important opener here onto Kanto.
How's he been able to get an open area by himself?
I think Kanto was probably thinking the same question. Astro's very quickly taking quite a lot of ground here. Sleben adds on to the pain, removing Crying. A couple of opening picks not really going their way. Sploit does manage to get away, full white flash, but he knows the map and he can dip himself into a little bit of safety. Savage, for the meantime, not thirsting onto that.
That's good. Very, very good from Savage. Don't give the kills away. You have all the control. You're in a 3 versus 5. You have still a shed load of utility to use. There's 3 Candelas that he can still utilize. Minute to go. All Secret need to do is just go basic, go default, get into server, get that wall open. You have a Thermite and plant. You've got 2 C4, 1 C4. Deepek has impact grenades. Oh dear. Oh no, they've done what I didn't want to see happen. However, Astro will respond on to Leon, and now Deepek is going to be up against Grubby. Grubby's going to go for, the clone, and this is brilliant from Deepek. Will he land the shots? No, Grubby! He had to make the play. Deepek knew they needed to get something back. And well, it's Sploit in the 1v4 to save his team.
Who other than Sploit to try and clutch this one out?
Swede
Grabs himself one, but won't pick the second. Secret with the advantage there in terms of man count. Nice little play from Astro on the hatch to close things out there. Not the result that a lot of people were expecting, but a result that Secret, I'm sure, will be thrilled with. They take Bank against Rogue in a maximum overtime game.
What a game. What a game. Rogue, they had a chance to potentially go in with a 99.9% chance of qualifying for the major, which could have turned into 100%, and now they're at 70%.
Oh dear, oh dear. I think that there's probably a lot to unpack.
Now they have to win next week.
With that game.
It's a must-win next week for them.
Puts a lot of pressure on that heroic fixture next week. Secret, I mean, I opened this game, I opened our desk up with a game that means a lot for one team and not a great deal for another. Sometimes when you throw a team that has nothing to lose into a matchup,
so many times.
How many times do we see them come away with it? Yeah. Even the first split, 4-2 to Secret, we were thinking, hang on a minute. I even said at the time, imagine what an upset this would be.
We kind of thought, okay, fair enough, 4-2, but Rogue can do the same. But whenever it hits 6 rounds, then you're sitting there thinking, surely not. And then we seen Rogue just angry. Angry Rogue today was in full force, and God, they were very, very dominant whenever they switched that playstyle where it was just, we need to win, we need to win. Yeah. To be fair, they still end up losing, but I mean, the rounds that they pulled back, they managed to, I suppose, it could have been a lot worse. We know that it could have been a lot worse today.
I think, you could really see just how much it meant to them there with the way that they were able to turn on angry mode, if we will. Our desk is going to have a great deal of fun breaking that one down. I'm sure that Fresh and Anne have got plenty of stuff lined up. We're going to take a short break, throw it back to them, and they're going to close that one out.